All right, guys. So we have an update in this situation with Warner Brothers, Paramount, the merger. Rob Bonta, who is the Attorney General for California, said, well, here's what they were thinking if they want to resume the talks, that they're going to have to get rid of a good portion of their cable channels. And they have certain cable channels in mind that the Ellisons would have to give up. But he's not coming out and saying CNN, but even the rap is like, he's thinking CNN. They have to give up CNN.
Why would you care if they had basic cable channels? Because you're trying to say they're going to raise the price of cable. Disney and stuff didn't have to give up their channels.
No, they did not. And cable is in decline, right? So this is all about CNN. We know it's about CNN. They're not coming out and saying it's about CNN, but everybody's freaking out about the Ellisons having CNN. It got so bad that David Ellison had to write an op-ed for the New York Times saying, hey, you can trust me with CNN, bro. It's not going to be...
Well, he said, I'm going to try to put it back to center, and that's what they're worried about.
That's what they're worried about.
That's their platform. They can't lose CNN. What are they going to do?
Yeah, so they're afraid that Barry Weiss is going to be put in charge of a CNN, CBS, what are they calling it? MAGA Curious. Oh my God. MAGA Curious cabal.
That's so funny. When you said that, MAGA Curious.
MAGA Curious.
I'm not on, you can kiss me about alt-right, but I'm not. I'm just MAGA Curious.
No.
I can't. MAGA Curious. Fuck off. Anyway.
Oh my God. So we'll talk about this. This is coming from the Daily Beast too, that MAGA Curious CBS boss Barry Weiss, MAGA Curious, she's looking to hire some fired CNN hosts for CBS, whatever. Let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Still got a few days yet if you want to back Geeky Sparkles Retro Halloween Revenge glowing enamel pins. She's bringing her pins back from last year. They glow in the dark. They're really cool.
Thanks. And I'm very proud of them.
Not so cool as me. You've added me as a pin this year.
Well, you added yourself. But yes,
I did add myself.
I asked for it. I requested it.
But I also glow in the dark. So check it out. The Neon Vampire, the Geeky Witch, and the vintage pins she designed last year. Second chance offer. We will have them to you in time for Halloween. So barring unforeseen circumstances, but we did pretty good last year. So we'll be fine. All right, let's talk about this. This is coming from The Wrap. Rob Bonta says Warner Brothers merger settlement talks could happen this week if Paramount shuts down leaks. He's saying he shut the talks down because, they were leaking it to the press. No, he's having a temper tantrum.
He is, because it wasn't even them who leaked it to the press. They're pretty sure it was like Newsom and other people.
Yeah.
But he's just, he waited until, that was what he's mad about. He could have shut it down as soon as it leaked to the press. He waited until the night before, which was days after the press had it. And then he got mad about it. It's like bullshit. Nobody's believing your BS, Bonta.
The California AG tells The Wrap he's open to a carve out of a significant portion of the combined company's 50 basic cable channels. They said Rob Bonta is open to coming to the negotiating table as early as this week, but only if Paramount Skydance agrees to stop leaking and stop misrepresenting through their leaks to the press.
That's him who keeps leaking or keeps misrepresenting shit constantly.
Bonta spoke to The Wrap's Lucas Manfredi and Sharon Waxman, who's in charge of The Wrap, after abruptly canceling his scheduled mediation session with Paramount. When asked if talks could restart, he said it's up to them.
No, it's not. It's up to you because you're the one that canceled it. Bullshit,
just wait,
dude.
Just wait. They've got to figure out where the leaks are and shut them down. Once they figure that out, we'll be happy to talk with them. I don't know how long it'll take for them to figure it out and fix it, but when they do, we're ready. No, they're not. The cancellation marked the latest twist in the Wendy saga of Paramount's attempted acquisition of Warner Brothers. The two sides seemed ready to head toward talks, but a report from the Wall Street Journal on Sunday spilled some of the details of the conversation between the two sides, and Bonta did not appreciate it. So he had a temper tantrum, and he called off the talks. And this is as David Ellison is already picking out a location in Austin, Texas. They have a street address. He's picking out the curtains. Like, they're going to move Paramount to Texas. And if you FA, you may FO, because if he does get a hold of Warner Brothers too, he can move the whole thing to Texas. And there goes all your jobs and all your tax money.
Well, even if they don't get Warner Brothers, it's going to fold. There still goes all the jobs, all the tax money, and he's going to take Paramount out, which still goes. Either way, they're going to lose the same amount.
This guy thinks he's all that. He remains open to good faith discussion.
Bullshit. Good faith discussions mean you give me my way.
Yes. Bonta said that specific timing around rescheduled talks depends on Ellison and Paramount. All of this is on them. This is another bed of their own making. We were literally ready to talk to them because we assumed, as I think we should, that they were interested in having good faith, sincere settlement negotiations until and unless they prove us wrong. They managed to prove us wrong in that assumption with these misrepresenting purported leaks.
Good faith about Bonta. Let's be honest here. This whole thing is pathetic and childish, and there's no good faith anything. Him and all the other AGs are all from blue states. A lot of the states have nothing to do with Hollywood. He's trying to argue it's because it's going to raise prices on customers. Meanwhile, there have been price hikes across all the streaming services for years, and they've done nothing. Disney just jacking up ESPN, which is going to raise the prices on all the cable networks too. Cable packages are going to get more expensive because ESPN's going up. And I don't see him and those AGs all going after Disney now. Do you?
No. So yeah, Paramount requested the states and the WGA put up, because they're the holdup. The only holdup in this deal, the states led by Bonta and the WGA, the IATSE. Now the actors are staying out of it, as far as I know, except for like Ruffalo and Friends. But most of the actors, the Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA is staying out of it. IATSE and the Directors Guild want this to happen. The three CEOs of the largest studio chains or theater chains want this to happen. Newsom wants this to happen. Karen Bass wants this to happen. And they're just like, he's being a little asshole. Probably because all the media attention's on him. Like, oh, look at me, I'm a little man. I get to decide whether or not.
The little man asshole who has a history of tanking companies because for whatever reason that doesn't make any sense unless you look at it from a perspective of what does he gain. Cha-ching.
Mm-hmm. They point out, this comes from the Wrap. At the same time, Bonta is facing his own increasing pressure to reach a settlement from a number of parties, including Gavin Newsom, who appointed him, by the way. Newsom appointed him, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, and the Democratic nominee in California's gubernatorial race, Xavier Becerra, the Directors Guild of America, and IATSE. So, everybody wants this to happen. Just make it happen. And he's like, no, they're playing games, and it's not cute. I'll talk, but only when they talk to me on my terms. None of them want this merger as is. None, he replied when asked about the pressure. They all want a ton of conditions. Maybe they're different. Maybe they're hoping we resolve the settlement because it's quicker. So what it looks like. Okay. So when asked about a potential settlement, Bonta reiterated on Monday that the state AGs are not interested in behavioral remedies being offered by Paramount, such as Ellison's pledge for 30 films a year.
Nuh-uh, you said that it was going to hurt theaters. And that's what people like, Bonta have been complaining about. He took care of that.
And here it is. Here it is, guys. This is exactly what Ellison said it was about. In terms of the specific examples of what a structural remedy could look like, Bonta told the Wrap that someone else would have to own a significant portion of the 50 basic cable channels that would be included under the combined company, but stopped short of saying CNN would be one of them.
Well, how come other companies like Disney could merge and they could keep their cable channels and then acquire cable channels from places that they merged with? Like FX and stuff like that. How come they're allowed to do that?
Well,
but these guys aren't.
They did carve out Fox News, though, from the rest of Fox.
Yeah, because it's a news overlap. And this one isn't the same thing because...
it was broadcast.
It's broadcast news. It's not the same thing. They had to sell... Because ABC and Fox were on the same level, so they had to sell that. That was true. That was part of the agreement.
Cable and a broadcast.
Right. But they got to keep all the other channels and then gain more channels. And then Disney has gotten in trouble repeatedly for leveraging all those channels to keep increasing costs on consumers. And they keep leveraging it to raise costs, raising the prices. It's been an ongoing issue. There's been lawsuit after lawsuit that were small ones. And these attorney generals did nothing, said nothing, allowed it then. But this is the straw that broke a camel's back because they're going to have 2 channels and they have to get up their cable channels.
We have some thoughts on specific channels. I'm not going to share those with you.
Let me guess. I'll guess what one of them is.
Yeah. If we do end up ever having productive settlement negotiations, that's something to be discussed. But the idea of what it means to have a structural remedy, for example, in the basic cable channel licensing market means separate ownership of a significant number of those channels.
No problem. You buy it, shut the channel down.
Yep.
That's what I would do. I'd be like, okay, fine. I will remedy the situation, and then we'll do something with it. But to get the purchase through, shut it down.
Yeah.
Problem solved, right? I don't have those cable channels anymore. I just shut them down, so you can't have them either.
The Wall Street Journal has reported that Bonta is interested in keeping the operation of the two companies' studios separate.
Not going to happen, dumbass.
That's not going to happen. So you can buy it, you can pay all the, the salaries and the taxes, but you're not allowed to actually run your own company because you're mean and we don't like you. And you're going to make more people MAGA curious, David.
Oh my God, MAGA curious.
MAGA curious.
That should be a t-shirt. I'm MAGA curious.
MAGA curious. Oh my God, he just goes on and on. They can't escape accountability.
Accountability for what?
They think it's clever, but they can't.
What accountability for what?
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. This is Bonta, he just keeps on going. The whole point of the lawsuit is a violation of antitrust law. Is it?
It's not. It's already got passed.
It's supposed to prevent monopolies from being created and make sure the market is free and fair instead of rigged.
Okay, Disney. Again. Yeah. You did nothing there. If you were worried about the being fair and not rigged, how come you let that one through? Not Bonta, he probably wasn't in office then, but like in general, I don't know if he was or not. In general, you guys let that one through. These attorney generals from all these states did nothing then. So that's a load of shit. Plus, it's cleared antitrust stuff in other countries too.
Yeah, exactly. And they're more stringent, I think, than the U.S. is. So I think what's going on here, you mentioned yesterday about potentially being on the take. Wouldn't it be curious if this deal did not go through and all of a sudden here comes Netflix and they make a lower offer and they happen to get it for a song
and then they all let that go through. Yeah, we want to protect jobs and wages. No, you don't, or you wouldn't be doing this. Prices that are fair and that there will be competition. But you allow Disney to cause all kinds of havoc with their pricing, which is causing other people to raise their pricing because of Disney doing it. That's fine. So let's just follow this through. They sell the channels off, and then who buys them? The other networks who they have channels and they're allowed to have them because they're them?
Oh my God, this is crazy. This guy just sounds like a little douchebag. He sounds like the guy from Ghostbusters, Peck. Right. Ellison has also threatened to move Paramount's operations out of the Golden State if a settlement can't be reached. A move experts warn could be devastating for the local economy. Bonta once again called the threat blackmail. And
what do you call what you're doing, Bonta?
I know. Emphasize no matter where they go, the lawsuit will continue. They can't escape accountability. There's no reason based on our lawsuit for them to go anywhere else unless it was the plan all along before the lawsuit.
It wasn't the plan all along. You guys have forced him out of the state. This is on you, Bonta. He's trying. He knows he's responsible, and he's trying to deflect the responsibility. This is your doing. I mean, there's talk they might have been considering it, but you just pushed them over the edge. Now you made it so hostile they're going to, and they are going to take it out of the state at this point in time because you're being a little bitch.
Yeah. Maybe they think it's clever. Maybe they think it's helpful to be engaged in the court of public opinion.
They're winning over you, Bonta.
But as I said before, time and time again, I'll say it now, this is a very straightforward black and white bread and butter, meat and potatoes antitrust case about 3 markets.
It is not because it's already passed.
It's already passed. He's the holdup. If there's ever a decision to leave California, that's completely David Ellison's decision. He owns it. It's lay at his feet. He'll have to explain the 180-degree turnaround from I'm committed to the future of Hollywood to now I'm leaving.
It's easy to explain. You. That's the problem, Bonta. Yeah. You. Because he was going to, and they have proof that he was trying to get more money to keep jobs in Hollywood. He's been trying to do that. I mean, I don't care what politics he has or whatever. I don't really give 2 shits about that. This is about the fact of the matter is Warner Brothers Discovery is going to fall. It's going to fold and it's going to fail.
Yeah.
So this sounds like either, he's working for Netflix. Sorry, but that's what it sounds like. Or something, because this doesn't make sense. And now you're like, he's the bad guy here. He's going to leave. He's going to leave. Warner Brothers is going to crash and burn. And even if Netflix gets it, they're not going to give the theatrical releases they promised.
No. It's all lip service.
You're destroying everything because you want to be Mr. Big Man, but you're just a little tiny pissant, and you're ruining everything. And you're so afraid you're trying to deflect responsibility on them when it's clearly your own fault.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I'm going to reiterate: if this thing collapses, this deal collapses, and Ellison pulls Paramount out of California, and all those jobs are lost, and then Warner Brothers collapses because it's not sustainable, or Netflix gets it and they cut a bunch of people, is 100% on Bonta because he is the holdup. Because they even point out in the wrap, they're like Paramount has the advantage because they've got all the support. They got Gavin Newsom, they got Karen Bass. They got the gubernatorial nominee. They've got the Directors Guild, IATSE. The only entities that are trying to stop this, the Writers Guild, which couldn't even pay their own people.
I was going to bring that up the other day, and I forgot to. Remember, they wouldn't do a deal with their own internal union because they kept stalling them out and doing everything they complained what happened to them, to their own people.
From where I'm sitting, that organization is just corrupt.
It's a piece of shit. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not always anti-union, but the Writers Guild, that's the one I've been the most vocal about because they are shit. They were blacklisting people for apparently for working on scripts that they were, had on their hard drive or whatever that weren't for a studio. They were just like spec scripts or something. They were trying to blacklist them forever. Like, you're not allowed to write anything. I'm like, oh my God. And these are the same people that were like, you have to have 12 writers in the writer's room at all time. They're the ones who are putting pressure on.
It was like 20, but yes.
Yeah, talk show. Yeah, when you don't need that many people. It's too many cooks in the kitchen. They're putting pressure on talk show hosts to shut their shows down in solidarity. They were the most vocal and the most obnoxious during the strikes, and they were the first to get cut. A lot of these writers because they shut a lot of the shows down, and now they're holding up. So if they wind up winning somehow, blame Bonta, blame the Writers Guild.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm torn. Because I don't want to see a lot of people lose their jobs. I don't. But the flip side is, I kind of want to see the train wreck that happens. I kind of like, fine, let Bonta win and see what, FAFO, see what happens. Yeah. But I think what's going to happen is Netflix is going to come in and they're going to get everything. And which then tells me that this seems awfully sus, doesn't it? Bonta, probably gets richer and then suddenly Netflix comes back in and gets it. To be fair, Paramount did to Netflix first. And I thought that was not okay, which I said repeatedly.
Yeah, this whole thing is just crazy. Then, I mean, we've got a lot of craziness around. A couple of days ago, I guess CNN was blaming technical issues across Warner Brothers Discovery for their channel outage. I'm like, I don't know. I think
the world would be at a loss if CNN was gone. Let's be honest.
Nobody's watching CNN. The problem is CNN is in such a bad state right now that like they have to have somebody buy them because it's not sustainable. They were laying people off and firing people because they weren't making enough money before Ellison was even in the equation.
See, if it was me, I'd just be like, I will commit to getting rid of those cable channels. I won't specify how. And then after I get my thing, I'd shut them down.
Yeah.
I'd shut them down or just sell off some of them and then take CNN and shut it down. Problem solved.
At this point, I would be like, yeah, fuck you people. I wouldn't stay. I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't stay. I don't think he's going to stay. I think he's going to move it. And
I think he is too at this point because it's a hostile environment.
Yeah, it's like why should I kowtow to you, little man? Why
would you want to give money that's going to pay him? Why would you give money to people who hate you?
Yeah, we always said don't give money to people who hate you, but that's true. Like you're going to be paying the salaries of people who are always going to be sharpening their knives.
This is the first thing, and what's going to happen next? What's going to happen after that? So fine. It's fuck you, bye. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I always tell people, I mean, this is like a brutal reality, whether it's a small business or, a major corporation. You cannot have disloyal people working for you, right? You can't. As soon as somebody proves that they're disloyal, you need to get rid of them because if you don't, they're going to rot your business out from the inside.
Bonta doesn't care what happens to all the people that work there. He doesn't give two shits.
No.
If he was worried about what was going to happen to the employees, he wouldn't be doing this. He doesn't care. He gets his pay and he gets whatever money he's probably getting for this whole scenario, in my opinion. So he's going to get his. So why does he care what happens to all you? He says he cares what happens to all you. I could care about people that are my constituents. No, you don't. No, you don't give two shits. And don't tell me it's because of the cable and the prices and it's going to be unfair advantage. I'm like, meanwhile, again, Disney has an unfair advantage. Several other companies are able to buy other studios with shows and platforms. You said nothing then.
Yep.
ESPN's jacking their price because they're special and Disney owns it. Crickets. Where's all the attorney generals getting ready to lawsuit?
Yeah, I know. There's something else going on. There's definitely something else going on here. So we shall see how this unfolds. We gotta wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.